This is the story of Robert Renfield's. He is now part of a self-help group, and there they talk about their abusive partners. Renfield is there as he has a codependent relationship with his boss. While all the people there have very serious situations, Renfield has the craziest one yet. His boss is the real Count Dracula, an immortal and evil vampire. We learn more about Renfield. Many years ago he was just a lawyer. He traveled to Transylvania and wanted to work with Count Dracula to buy some land. They worked on the deal together and everything seemed perfect at the start. Dracula was nice and he took Renfield out and bought him expensive clothes. Renfield loved his new life, but soon Dracula revealed the fact that he is a vampire. Renfield becomes Dracula's familiar, which means that Dracula becomes his master. Renfield also gained some things. He was also immortal like a vampire, and he would get superhuman powers from eating bugs. For a while things were good. Renfield would bring Dracula humans to eat and Renfield had a happy life. Still, after almost 100 years, Renfield has gotten bored with this life. We also see that vampire hunters constantly attack Renfield and Dracula. Not long ago these hunters came and tried to take down Dracula. Dracula is a fierce fighter and he is brutal when he kills someone. The vampire hunters trapped Dracula in a magic circle, but Renfield saved him. For a moment Renfield considered letting the vampire hunters kill Dracula, but Dracula convinced him that he is his only friend. Renfield feels that without Dracula he would be totally alone. Still, Dracula got very injured from the sunlight, so he has to spend time healing. Now in the present, these two live in New Orleans. Renfield is going to this group therapy and he has started to hate Dracula. Dracula has been a horrible friend and boss. He constantly abuses Renfield. Renfield listens to all the people in the group talk about their problems, but he is not there for therapy, he is looking for victims. Still, Renfield does not want to hurt innocent people, so he finds the abusive partners of the group members and then uses them as food for Dracula. He finds out that one of the girls in the group has a boyfriend who is a criminal. Renfield finds this boyfriend and he is at a warehouse. It seems that this boyfriend is working with other criminals and they stole some drugs from the dangerous Lobo family. Renfield eats some bugs to power up and he goes to the warehouse. Renfield now has superhuman strength, so he is a great fighter. He uses his powers and martial arts to beat up all the criminals. Suddenly an assassin with knives shows up. These assassins were sent by the Lobo family and he is here to kill everyone. Renfield and his assassin start a brutal fight. This assassin throws knives at Renfield and he has to dodge all of it. Renfield gets injured during the fight, but he still manages to brutally kill the assassin. Teddy Lobo gets scared as he sees Renfield kill everyone and he drives off. We are introduced to Rebecca Quincy. She is a police officer working on traffic stops. Rebecca's father was killed by the Lobo family and she wants revenge. That night she runs into Teddy Lobo. Teddy has a bunch of drugs in his car. Rebecca chases after him and arrests him. In the meantime we see Renfield take the dead bodies to a giant hospital. This is where he and Dracula live now. Renfield is still injured from the fight, but he still has to bring food to his master. Dracula is still very injured and he has to heal. He wants really great people to eat, no criminals. He needs innocent and good people. Renfield is not bringing him this, so Dracula decides to punish him. Renfield truly hates his boss and wants to get away from him. Dracula uses his magic blood to heal Renfield after he injures him. It seems that Dracula can heal any type of injury with his blood. The following day Rebecca gets into trouble at her police station. Teddy gets released without a problem. Rebecca is furious that this happened and she gets into an argument with the other police officers. We also learn that her sister Kate is an FBI agent. Kate and Rebecca get into a heated argument about fighting the Lobo family, and Kate thinks that Rebecca is not doing a good job. Teddy goes back to his giant mansion and his mother wants to have a conversation with him. His mother is the leader of the mobster family and she is a very dangerous woman. She has had enough and she wants Teddy to take care of Rebecca and kill her. Teddy accepts this order as he is afraid of his mother. That same night Renfield goes into a restaurant. He is there to find victims. This time he cannot choose random criminals, he has to find innocent and good people. People like nice nuns or tourists. That is what Dracula wants to eat. Renfield does not want innocent people to get hurt, but he does not have any choice. At the same time, Rebecca has found clues that lead into that same restaurant. She is there to find out what Teddy is planning and to try and capture him. Things get crazy in the restaurant. Teddy arrives with his other gang members. They all have guns and they have come into the restaurant. Teddy is there for one person. He is there to kill Rebecca. Rebecca makes fun of Teddy for being such a bad criminal, but Teddy is furious. She calls him a coward a couple of times and Teddy points his gun at Rebecca. She can either accept that he is her boss or he will kill her. Rebecca is a very strong person and she tells Teddy to shoot as she will never back down. At that moment Renfield falls in love with Rebecca. He wants to be like her and fight against Dracula finally. Renfield is very impressed and he wants to save Rebecca. He manages to eat a bug and powers up. He goes to attack the gangsters and now they are all scared. Rebecca and Renfield manage to take down all the gangsters. After the fight is over, Rebecca thanks Renfield for saving her life and she tells him that he is a hero. This is the first time that Renfield felt like a normal human and a good person. That happiness does not last long. Dracula calls Renfield to come and talk with him. Dracula has now started to heal himself and soon he will be at full power. He talks with Renfield about his grand plan. Dracula now plans to take over the world. All humans will be his servants or his food. Renfield realizes that he is in big trouble and that he has to get away from Dracula. Later that same day, Renfield goes back to his self-help group and talks with them. He admits that he is part of an abusive relationship and he wants to leave. The nice people there motivate Renfield to change his life and to get free from Dracula. Renfield buys a small apartment and cleans it up. He starts to smile more and be happy. He also buys new clothes and starts to decorate his apartment. Renfield is truly starting a new life and he wants to be free from evil and killing. Finally, Renfield goes to the police station to give a statement about what happened that night with Teddy. He wants to help Rebecca to catch all the mobsters. Renfield tells Rebecca that she is a great person and that he admires her a lot. Teddy's mother, Bella Francesca, is furious at the entire situation. She hates that her men are getting killed. She realizes that Renfield is behind all the killings as he is on the cameras. She thinks that maybe he is an assassin working for some of the other crime families. She orders Teddy and other criminals to find him and kill him. They manage to track down Renfield in the abandoned hospital and all the gangsters go there. When Teddy and his gangsters arrive, they soon find that this hospital is filled with dead bodies. Teddy is super scared, but that is when Dracula starts to attack his people. Dracula moves in the shadows and he is like a demon. Finally he attacks Teddy, but Teddy tries to explain the situation. Teddy admits that their target is Renfield as he saved some good people and killed their gang members. Dracula finds out that Renfield has betrayed him and has been acting like a hero to the other people. Dracula goes to visit Renfield in his new apartment. Dracula is furious at Renfield and he promises to torture him and everyone he loves. Renfield tries to fight back and he tries to explain to Dracula that he will not be his servant anymore. Dracula then finds out about the support group that Renfield has been seeing. Renfield rushes to the support group and tries to get them all to leave as Dracula is soon coming. Renfield tries to explain to his friends that they must hide until the sun rises. Suddenly Dracula enters the place and starts to kill everyone. Renfield tries to beg him for mercy, but Dracula does not show any mercy. All the people that Renfield cared about are now dead. At that moment Rebecca arrives with her partner. She sees that Renfield is covered in blood and thinks that he committed these murders. Rebecca arrests Renfield and tries to take him to the police station. At that moment it's revealed that her partner and the entire police force are actually working for the Lobos family. They want Rebecca to join their side and give Renfield to them. The main boss of the Lobos family tries to explain to Rebecca that her life will be much better if she becomes one of them. Rebecca rejects this offer and starts shouting at everyone. She manages to get into the car and she drives away. While that is happening, Teddy and Dracula decide to work together. They both want revenge against Renfield, and also Dracula wants to build an army. He is planning to take over the world, so he will need powerful criminals. The following morning Rebecca wakes up in Renfield's apartment. He is making breakfast for her and Rebecca demands that he explains everything. Renfield then reveals that he is working for Dracula and that he has been his slave for many years now. Renfield admits that he wants to change and become a better person. He does not want to be like Dracula. That same morning a bunch of corrupt police officers and gangsters arrive to kill both Renfield and Rebecca. Renfield manages to eat some bugs, so he uses his superpowers. Renfield can almost fly and he just kills all the criminals. He is so strong that he rips them apart like paper. Finally, after a long fight, both Rebecca and Renfield escape. In the meantime, Teddy and his mother have started to work with Dracula. Rebecca and Renfield have a rest and talk about their families. Rebecca talks about her sister and Renfield mentions his family from 100 years ago. Finally, Rebecca learns that Dracula kidnapped her sister Kate. Renfield and Rebecca decide to team up and save Kate from Dracula. When Renfield and Rebecca arrive, they realize that Dracula has given superhuman strength to Teddy and the other criminals. Rebecca tries to save her sister while Renfield fights the other criminals. At one point Teddy and Rebecca fight, but Renfield joins in to stop Teddy. Renfield and Teddy have a brutal fight as their powers are evenly matched. In the meantime, Dracula tries to get Rebecca to turn to his side. He promises to heal and bring her sister back to life. Kate is totally dead now. After killing Teddy, Renfield arrives to save Rebecca. Rebecca pretends that she is joining sides with Dracula. She actually exposes Dracula to sunlight. Now a final fight begins. Rebecca and Renfield have to hold off Dracula as he becomes angrier. Renfield finally decides to be free of Dracula and he starts to beat him up. Finally, Rebecca traps Dracula in a magic circle. Then the both of them decide to slash and dice Dracula into many pieces and throw him into concrete. Then they throw him in the water system. Renfield uses Dracula's blood to save Cade and his group therapy friends. Renfield is finally ready to lead a happy and healthy life now that he is free of Dracula. The end. Thanks for watching. Please, like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.